Welcome to Friendly Fire. It's your Mainbeach, and today I'm in the hot seat. Yeah.
Yo, what's up everybody, and welcome in to your favorite show, Friendly Fire. You already know the vibes. And today, we got the homie Mainbeach, aka Raph. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. You know, we got a little holiday edition. Y'all can see the decor and everything, you know what I mean? We had to hook it up. A little Merry Christmas, but Happy Holidays also to every one of y'all. You know what I'm saying? We're inclusive, progressive here. And yeah, I'm super excited about this episode. Raph is the homie. Yes. Met through kind of the streaming, right? Through Twitch and all of that.
It's been a long time coming for sure.
Been a long time coming for sure. And I actually looked out because you are all the way across
California,
the country in Cali.
Yes, I am.
And you just happen to be here on vacay.
Yes, and the schedule just so happened to permit me being here. So.
And when it works out like that, it is a beautiful thing.
Yes.
So I want to start out giving you the floor. Kind of get it out the way early. What I call the elevator pitch. Just kind of give me like your minute long, however long. Who are you? Whatever that means to you, as a creator, as a person, and also kind of where we can find you. So all of your socials, platforms, whatever you want to promote.
Okay. Hello everyone. I'm Mainbeach. You can find me on Twitch. More importantly, on YouTube. I also go by Mainbeach Twitch. On Twitter and on TikTok. I'm a 25-year-old Filipino-American content creator, and I usually play FPS games, team-based FPS games on my channel, but I like to do a variety too. And I'm just very, very passionate about content creation in general, and that's why I'm so excited to be here.
The thing that I want to start out with kind of in the discussion is, and we just touched on it, right? You are all the way across the country.
Yes, sir.
You are originally from Jersey.
Yes,
Obviously, now in Cali.
Right.
I think it's been you're coming up on 4 years, you said.
Yep.
So my first question is two parts actually.
Right.
The first part is kind of what drove that move, kind of what took you from Jersey. I mean, honestly, it's not like you went down to PA or, up
Absolutely
to New York.
Not.
You went cross country.
No offense, PA people. Yeah.
So what is the motivation behind that move? And then secondly, I feel like in the tri-state area, I don't see a lot of large content creators or people, even organizations, I should say.
Right.
I think that there are a lot of people, but I mean more established. And I feel like it's kind of a pattern that I've noticed. And I'm just wondering like your thoughts on that. Not necessarily do you agree, but do you think that they're, I think in the Northeast in general, I don't see it. And I'm just wondering kind of what your take on that is, if I'm off base, if I'm onto something.
Okay.
So kind of two parts for that on you.
I have answers to both questions, so.
Hey, go right ahead.
All right, so to touch on the first, why I went to California, right? Okay, so that was because of my first job and current job actually out of college, which was my computer engineering job. I went to Rutgers University for a degree in computer engineering. Okay. And after that, I was applying to jobs in New York City because originally I wanted to stay in this area. I fell in love. Right. I've been here basically my entire life, and I wanted to continue that.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, the job market didn't have as many opportunities. However, Silicon Valley, of course, very prevalent in engineering jobs. So I went over there.
Rings a bell.
Yep. Hey, they had like a relocation package and everything. So, I have to take advantage of that,
For sure.
And I ended up staying there for these 4 years upcoming now. And I truly do enjoy it. Do I see myself moving? Potentially, It's not the cheapest place to be, obviously. Yeah. And there, I'm still relatively young. So there are opportunities that I can take whenever I want. And that is essentially the reason why I moved. Would I move back? Maybe, because I do really love, as I said before, I love New York City.
Yep.
And I could potentially see myself being maybe in Midtown for like a year, live a kind of Sex in the City life. Potentially. We'll see. And to touch on your second question, which is why the West Coast is more populated with the established content creators.
Right.
Okay, so I think the biggest reason is because everyone thinks that with streaming and content creation, the hotspot is LA. And so everyone thinks that, okay, in order to make it big, for example, I have to move to LA, do my content house, make it big there. But I don't think that is the ultimate reason on why people should move anyway. Yeah, you know, you could still make it big wherever you are. But it just so happens because of the network that is already established in LA, it could potentially be easier. And for myself, that makes sense. I have also thought about it because of how many streamers, content creators are down there. So it could be easier too for me. But just for now and how my life is going, I'm staying in Northern California. No, that definitely makes sense. And then 2 quick follow-up questions. Number 1, I think like just kind of to get your thoughts on it, right? Is like I think it's like a synergy, right? In terms of people moving to LA, right? It's Hollywood, and I feel like streaming kind of is a modern day like Hollywood dream, if you will. You know what I mean? Like the movie star of the '80s. You know what I mean? Like that kind of thing. I think there's a lot of similarities in that. And then do you think there are content creators elsewhere, like established in New York, South, like wherever? Yes. So I believe with the way that California is heading right now, there are people leaving due to one of the reasons, the cost. Yep. But people have found that it is just as viable making careers of content creation outside of California. And so one big place where I see a lot of people moving right now is Texas.
100%.
So like Dallas.
You are so right. Yes.
Austin, just for an example. Those are where the hubs are being created. And I think out of all those places, I think that Texas is a very viable option because once again, cost of living, it's really all about
way
the money.
Lower, yeah.
So Texas, in my opinion, is where a lot of people are going to be going.
How long has it been since you started the journey to pursue content creation as a career, right? And I think more importantly, when did you know that you loved it enough to pursue it as such, right? The reason I ask is because you know, you and I both in a similar kind of space. You more established than I am. It's tough, right? You know, you got the day job, you got other responsibilities and everything like that, and it's a long game. You know what I mean? It's not instant gratification. You don't just hit 1,000, you know, 1,000,000, whatever the case is, immediately. You got to grind it out. You know what I mean? It's the hours that are not in front of the screen that are really important, right? That kind of set you apart, and it's undeniably difficult. But I think what sets people apart is those who fall in love with the process, not only with the destination. And like realistically, I just kind of want your thoughts on that. Like, when did you really know that you loved it enough to pursue it? And you know, if you want to throw in like your story, the background of kind of how you got started, feel free as well. Yeah.
So to start, why I started streaming, I saw someone doing a Fortnite stream towards the end of my college career. So this was back in 2018. Okay. And I saw him. I knew that he was very good at the game. He was like some ranked 1 solo, whatever. And and I saw him and I'm like, okay, like he has an audience, but objectively, he wasn't the best, like streamer wise. Of course, at the game, he was good. But was he good at interacting with the audience? Was he keeping people in? Retention. And so I thought, yo, if this guy's doing this, he's raking in as many people as like thousands, you know? Why can't I do that myself? And to add to like the marketing reasons of things, I was like, okay, I'm a relatively young girl, you know, people will bank on that. And so after I graduated from college, and the move, of course, and settled down. That's when I got my first capture card, and I started streaming on Twitch. Overwatch was my first game, and I was using a really crusty, like 2013 Mac. And boy, was it a struggle. Like I knew nothing about streaming. Started off as anyone else would. They would stream for hours while being muted. Would have like bit rate drops of everything. It would just be a disaster. Like the webcam would be zoomed in on like one zit on my face the entire time, you know? It was bad.
You were down bad.
I was down bad, but you know what? I had a damn good time doing it.
Okay, that's what's important.
Exactly. And so that's when I kind of started to realize, hey, you know, this is actually pretty fun. And I saw the success that others were having because of it. And thought, okay, maybe I could potentially do this for myself. I could go big. I could be Pokey. I could be Valkyrie. Like, F this. I'm out.
Hell yeah.
And actually, not even just that. The fact that I honestly, I hate working. I hate everything about it. The tight schedules, answering to someone else, the fact that I will be making a capped amount pretty much for the rest of my life. With streaming, you know, the possibilities can be endless. The sponsorships are crazy now. Like you could be sponsored by Captain Crunch, then Lexus the next day. Like anyone will sponsor you. And I think these things are like very overlooked by the normal person. And another reason that I'm still going to this day is because, like for many people in 2020, COVID year is very hard for a lot of people, like socially and mentally. And I found a solace in streaming, my community, gaming, and just being on that constant grind. Something to look forward to. That, hey, if I keep working at this, I'm going to make it. And that's truly my motivation, my desire to keep going. And I know for a lot of people it's like that too. And in my community, I make it clear that we are going to make it, you know. Nothing truly separates you from XYZ, for example.
Right.
It's just the fact that they were doing it for so long.
Early to market or first to market. And I think, you know, you and I have had that discussion before, which is the pie is still big enough for all of us to eat. You know what I mean? It's not like there's no space, like it's oversaturated, right? I think content is still new. We're moving toward a digital age, so I feel like it's only going to be more in the center, you know, kind of the centerpiece of entertainment. And I think that story is dope. You know, to touch on something that you mentioned, which is community, right?
Of course,
Now, our first guest on the show, Macadamian, right, gave you the shout
That's my
out.
son.
You know what I mean? Your son.
The reason why I started streaming again, which I probably should have done throughout the entire pandemic, which I didn't, unfortunately. Mainbeach, actually, which is one of my friends. She shout outs to Mainbeach.
Yes.
He mentioned that you were kind of the main inspiration in him really kind of pursuing streaming, right? Content creation, all of that. And being a member of your community. You know, myself, I noticed that a lot of people in that community look up to you in that way, right? Sort of as a mentor, look to you for kind of that guidance. And I think that's a really valuable thing. So this question is also two parts. So number one is that mentor role, right, that I kind of see you in for multiple people. Is that something that happened organically or that you actively seek out? And then sort of in the one hand gives, one hand receives, right? Do you feel like you've ever had anyone in that mentorship role for yourself? Okay,
so in terms of mentorship and me mentoring other people, I think that's something that comes naturally. Of course, I would love to say one of the reasons why I became, or why I am pursuing streaming and making it big, for example, is because there are a lot of people out there, a lot of influences who are bad, truly, and it infuriates me when, for example, they have a tweet or some sort of post that leads their audience in a terrible direction. And then they apologize later, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to tweet that. And you don't understand, in that situation, you are telling all these people one thing that is driving their group mindset to think this. And for example, for me, one of the very big problems with the game community is how women are treated. And whenever, for example, there is a statement about sexual assault, this community does not react like the way that they should. And I think with the creators, the female creators right now, they're doing a better job at shining this light upon it. But in general, I think this idea, this notion of everything happening, like it's not getting the attention that it deserves. People like to sweep things under the rug. And what I like to do, if I ever do become big, is to shine light on all these prevalent problems that aren't given enough attention. And is that going to happen naturally? Most likely. But in the meantime, when it's me becoming a mentor to other people, I don't actively seek it out. But if I notice that someone is struggling or they need some sort of guidance, of course I'll be there to help them. I think that is something, like a human quality that we should all have, is to naturally help other people. And in terms of me having my own mentor, I've had friends that I've looked up to, but I can't really think of one person who has guided me to the point where I am today. I've done all that work myself.
Right. Shouts out to you.
And I've had my own resources, people to talk, to bounce ideas off of.
Yep.
But I can't credit it to one person.
No, that definitely makes sense. And you realistically hit on a lot of, I think, really important things, right? Number one, it's amazing that, you see yourself in a way where you can bring positivity into different communities. I think, it's something that Day and I discussed, right? Which is your community is an embodiment a lot of times of who the streamer is. They represent your beliefs, your feelings, your sentiments. And, if you can bring in an environment of positivity, an environment of awareness, I think that's really dope. Because quite frankly, like you said, there's a lot of injustices that are happening, a lot of biases against women, against, gay people, colored people, whatever you want to say.
Racism, it's all out there still.
In the world, but also in gaming. Thank you for honestly, bringing up that conversation, because I think it's important. It's stuff that we got to talk about in order to make any kind of progress, for everyone, right? Because at the end of the day, this is for everybody. You know what I mean?
We're all gamers, but we're all different,
I couldn't have said it better myself. You bet. So continuing on the topic of community, as y'all can see, Maine is all about community. You know what I mean? As I mentioned before, one of the things I've noticed about you is you're very open, right, to not only having people in your stream, right, building community that way, but playing with other people, right, playing, Dead by Daylight or Valorant, whatever it is, right, you kind of welcome people in to come in and be part of the stream, right, like really be part of the community actively. And, speaking from experience, I'm always someone who's careful with that, right? The only reason, is because I don't want nobody saying nothing crazy, you know what I mean, on the stream, or God forbid, they say something that doesn't represent what I believe, and then they're like, oh shit, how'd you bring someone on that said that? You know what I mean? And I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I guess my question for you is, do you have some kind of vetting process before you invite someone in to play, or do you really just allow people to join and you kind of deal with it, from that part, which I don't think would be a negative. I'm just interested, to hear from you, because I think that's taking a risk, but it's also being brave and an effective way of building. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So one of my mottos, I think, of my beach house community, my Discord server especially, is just come as you are. And as long as you're not a totally poop person, then you can stay. We can work on things with your personality.
Yes.
Do I have conflicts with people in my community? Of course I do, but we address them. And if you're willing to change for the better, then okay, let's keep it going.
Yep.
But one of the main reasons also why I allow everyone to join is because it's just good marketing. For sure. A lot of the people, or not a lot, but I have had concerns from others say to me that they don't like, for example, young children joining. And I disagree with that because of the fact that these young people coming into the streams are people that usually stick around more than the older people, for example. And they bring the energy to the stream. They bring very creative ideas to our conversations. I get to talk more about other things to them. And, just overall, I think that the younger community, it's good to show them what's wrong now. Before, when they're at an older age and when their opinions really matter, they screw up. And I know that I'm taking a risk 100%, and I have been burned definitely from people trying to take advantage of my community, of my Discord server, and it more than anything, I get furious in the moment, but then it just saddens me because this is a person that I've invested time and effort into, and to know that they would treat me so badly, or other community members so badly, is just kind of it just hurts, truly.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting way of looking at it, especially from the perspective of the younger viewers, kind of cultivating right mindsets and positivity, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what you preach. That's really interesting, and I appreciate that you take those risks. Because like you said, it builds community. It's beneficial for, I think, everyone.
Right.
And look, it's not always going to work out, but I think definitely it does more times than it doesn't. You know what I mean? The good vastly outweighs the bad.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? So that's very dope. And then the last question I got for you before you get burned, you know the vibes, is you got your own YouTube series called Becoming a Streamer, which I'm a big fan of. And I just want you to talk a little bit about that, and then obviously becoming a streamer, give the audience, you know, those who may be pursuing content themselves, whatever avenue that is, like your biggest pieces of advice. You know what I mean? Get them a little, you know, a little drop, you know, a little bit of spice.
Yeah, there you go.
So go ahead.
All right, so just stop watching this video and go to youtube.com/Mainbeach.
Literally.
No, just kidding. In all seriousness, becoming a streamer is kind of a way for me to show my journey. Potentially, if I were to become big. No, when I become big.
There you go. Affirmation, right?
There you
Affirmations.
Go, yeah, of what it's like. You know, I do show my struggles, how things don't always go your way, burnout, of course, but then also how do you grow your channel? And it answers a lot of questions that a lot of people beginning content creation may have. And I want it to be kind of a hub for people to gather and share their experiences, because that's how we all learn, by sharing each other's perspectives.
Sure.
And in terms of the biggest advice that I could give people is to, one, change your mindset. I think once I started to truly believe that I can become a full-time streamer, that's when things just started clicking for me. How do I actually become a big-time streamer? What do I need to do? What do I need to change in my life in order for this to happen?
Definitely,
and
right.
Network. Social media is always going to be your best friend. 100%. And as much as I hated using TikTok, I have to, because that's just where everyone is right now. And the discoverability in that app is just unmatched.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
For sure.
And Twitch does a terrible job, truly poop job at showcasing the smaller streamers. So you got to fight for yourself.
Yeah.
And, you know, I know you said, and I still agree with this, that streaming isn't oversaturated, but there are some categories that are pretty hard to find people in. So for example,
yes.
like you're playing Valorant, you know, and let's say you're playing to 2 viewers. There are hundreds of channels in Valorant, thousands, of course. And why would a viewer, if you put yourself in the mindset of the viewer, why would they watch you instead of the best Valorant player? So I don't think it's too far-fetched of an idea to become a successful streamer, to grow, but you have to bank on the qualities that make you unique.
Yes.
And really market that. So I think those are 2 of the biggest pieces that I can.
Yeah, don't give them too much now. We want to take them over to becoming a streamer, so don't give them too much now. You know, one of my favorite things about becoming a streamer is the way I look at it, honestly, is you're saving others from making the mistakes that you made.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good point.
And that's really, really, really dope, to be honest with you. So please go check it out, y'all. I promise it's a great, great series, you know, on her channel. You know what I mean? YouTube, Mainbeach, right?
Yep, that's
Mainbeach on YouTube. You already know the vibes.
Some suggestions will be channels of beaches, so you gotta be like Mainbeach Twitch.
Yes,
you know,
Mainbeach
Twitch. If
Twitch.
you're searching me up, yeah.
There you go. There you go. But all of Mainbeach's links will be in the description on this video, as they usually are for all of our creators, so you won't have to go look very far. I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for this interview.
Thank you so much for having me. Yeah,
dope.
there we go.
Thank you. And now, y'all already know what time it is. It's time to get the real fire burning. So
yeah, it's hot.
We'll be right back. Peace.
Wait, nothing's moving, right?
Everything's moving, trust me. We got
I
our
don't
6
need like a live
items
animal.
here. What was that?
I don't need a live animal to touch, because I might actually kill it.
I don't know what to tell you.
Okay, fine.
All right, cool. So,
Okay.
I have the 6 items here, okay?
Yes.
And we're gonna go ahead and go one by one here, all right?
Okay.
All right, so we got your 6 items here, okay? Y'all already see what it is. You have 10 seconds per item for a total of 60 seconds, because y'all know we do the minute challenges here at Friendly Fire.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start you out. We got the stopwatch right here. Y'all already see it. Y'all know how we do. I'll start the timer. Once you start feeling each item, we'll stop it. We'll give you a couple seconds to guess what it is, and then we'll move on to the next one, all right? Then we'll get your cumulative score at the end. You good with that?
Yes, God.
All right. First item. Give me 1 second.
Oh.
All right, ready, set, go.
It's just this?
It's just that. 5,
Oh.
4,
Ooh,
3,
this is kind of nice.
2,
It's kind of, it has
1.
salt on it.
All right, what do we
Or
got?
is this soil?
You're done.
A gnome?
A gnome. A gnome. A gnome. Okay. All right.
That was so difficult.
So that was raw potato gnocchi.
What the hell?
So you are 0
I'm
for
not
1.
cultured enough to know that.
We're gonna get it started again. Are you ready for item number 2?
All right, now that I know how this game's going, hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna put item 2 in front of you, and we are gonna start the clock in 3, 2, 1.
so
Go ahead.
this
You got
one,
it.
right?
Yep.
Ooh! Ooh.
3,
That's
2,
provocative.
1.
No!
Down. What do we got? What's your guess?
It feels like a twig.
A twig. Close, but no cigar. That is Remy's raw cod skins. Or dried cod skins, I guess. It's a dog treat, which is an actual cod skin.
Bruh.
0 for 2. We can't make it easy. You want the hot
This
seat.
is hard.
Okay. Item
I want a different challenge.
number 3.
Oh, okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
Oh.
6, 5.
I know what these are. I have-
3,
If
2, 1. Go ahead.
Olives.
Ding, 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 ding.
Yes!
Let's go.
I can eat olives.
Okay,
Let's go.
okay.
Yes.
1 for 3, not bad. You probably would have got more. Probably got more than I would have got, to be honest with you.
Shout out to my evolving taste buds.
Shout out to your evolving taste buds.
Yeah,
Definitely
I used
came
to
in
not
handy
like those.
there.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready?
Wait, hold on. Let me just wipe my. Okay. Okay, let's go.
Okay. In 3, 2, 1. Go ahead.
What? Oh, there's a star up top. Oh, this has to be like a Christmas tree thing.
Ding, ding, ding. There you go.
Yeah!
This is the Christmas tree that was already in the room
Ah.
during our interview. Good job. Okay.
Okay.
50% right
Okay.
now. This is for pass or fail here, y'all. This is
Oh,
for pass or
no.
fail. Last 2 items, okay? I'm going to put this one in front of you. Give me a second.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Go.
Oh. Ooh. Ew.
Oh, God. 2, 1, 0.
I knew there was gonna be a slimy thing. I knew it.
It's always got to be a slimy thing.
Marshmallows.
Oh, what? That's right. Get the fuck out of here. Yo. Okay, wait. You are actually crazy good at this game. Here, I got another one for you right here. And we have one last item, which is probably the most important item
Okay.
in the lot, okay?
Okay.
All right. I have the item in front of you in 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, what? Hello?
Okay. 4, 3, 2,
What is
1,
this?
0.
A Goku wig.
Ooh, close. It is actually a Naruto wig.
Damn it, that's
But
my second one.
You know what? You get credit because you said a wig. So that's 4 for 6. That's 66%, which you know
That's
what? 4
passing
for 6
engineering.
is passing engineering, and that's
Yeah.
passing friendly fire too. You already know the vibes, y'all. So, Raph, thank you so much for the challenge. You go
Can
ahead
I
and
take
take
this
off your
off now?
blindfold.
Yeah.
Yes. Yo,
Hey.
you know what? You are a champ. I did not think you were
There
going to
we
get
go.
that many, so shouts out to you. High five.
Thank you,
And
thank you.
y'all already know the vibes, yo.
You know
That's
the vibe.
Friendly Fire. Raph killed the challenge. You also killed the interview.
Thank you.
Really, really happy you came on. Thank you. And audience, that's a wrap, baby. Peace!
See you next time.